Jim Morrison expressed, "Some of the worst mistakes of my life were haircuts." If you think about it, at some point in everyone's life, each individual has to learn how to deal with their own hair type. This is true of all generations throughout history, such as the Egyptians, as shown in www.historylink101. Here there is an Egyptian with a traditional haircut. You can pass that around. The Victorian era, as we see from victorianera.org. Different Victorian hairstyles. And even today, with many styles that come in and out of fashion, as Jim Morrison hints at in Goodreads. Before I went to cosmetology school, I had no idea the different venues in which the hair industry came in contact with. As I studied the textbook Salon Fundamentals by Pivot Point, the information that I learned was fascinating. The hair industry touches a broad spectrum of academics in order to make their clientele happy. Some of the education that cosmetologists brush against in order to make society confident are anatomy and physiology, different tools for cutting, and styling. An interesting fact is, one of the very few professions that is legally licensed to physically touch people besides the medical field is cosmetology. Cosmetology is the study of hair, skin, and nails. Because of this, it is important to know the anatomy and physiology of the public and how to properly and professionally perform with each individual. Imagine relaxing at a shampoo bowl at your favorite salon. Your stylist begins to give you a scalp massage before the hair transformation begins. In order for them to professionally be able to do this, they have to study each bone and muscle of the human skull. Not only do they have to be aware of the muscular and skeletal system, it is also vital for them to have a broad understanding of each body system and how they affect one another. In the hair consultation, for instance, the stylist assesses to see if there are any abrasions on the skin, possibly diseases such as melanoma that the client may be unaware of, or any allergies that could be affected by a chemical service such as a color or shampoo treatment. Though it may seem minimal with the anatomical and physiological education that a hairstylists attain, they have to keep their eyes open for any abnormalities in order to keep their clients safe. Next, in addition to knowing anatomy and physiology, hairstylists have many different forms of cutting tools that they consistently have to be up to date with. One of the most fascinating things that I learned about in hair cutting is the importance of the different kinds of shears and the blades that come in contact with the hair. Shears are essentially scissors. These are shears that create different cuts on the hair depending on the position. And this is a type of shear that has a swivel thumb, and that helps with carpal tunnel, so you can bend your wrist in different ways and your thumb can swivel. A taper shear, better known as a thinning shear, is another form of the original shear, which has one straight blade and one blade that is serrated. There are many different forms of a taper shear, in which the notches have greater and smaller spacing between them. This scissor is used to reduce bulk and add texture and mobility to the cut. Yet another tool used to cut hair is the razor. This is a razor, and there are different shapes of razor. This is a straight razor. This creates a soft line because the cut is cut at an angle instead of straight across. Haircuts can be very successful or unsuccessful depending on how well a tool can perform. Just as it is important for the correct tool to be used for a specific cut, the finished product of styling is vital for the finished look and the self-esteem of the client themselves. Styling can make a client feel great about themselves or completely insecure. Different haircuts and styles can really transform a person into someone they love or somebody they really dislike. For instance, a hairstylist would not give a purple mohawk to a classy businesswoman because this could clash with her workforce and probably even her security in her profession. It is important for the stylist to get to know their clients, who they are, and what profession they have, and what hobbies they have, because the hairstyle can affect them and whatever they are involved with. Another example would be, you would not want to give a marathon runner a short layered bob so that they couldn't put it back in a ponytail. Otherwise, the hair would continuously fall on their face and affect their running if they could not see. Stylists really do have to look at the big picture of their clients' lives before they begin completing their haircut and final style. Who would have known that there are so many different things that a cosmetologist has to consider in order to make their clients safe, comfortable, and feel great? The anatomy and physiology aspect of their job is quite extensive as they daily perform their profession. The knowledge of the tools they use is very important for different looks of the hairstyles. Finally, the understanding of the big picture of who their client is so important for the final style they perform. The knowledge that the cosmetologists come in contact with is quite extensive, and all of this is done to make society confident. Thank you.